Hello everyone, welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this one-hour tutorial, I'll be trying to build a very simple web application called DomainGistry, which is a domain name generation web application, right? So in case I type in the word like domain, Genie, right, now to generate domain names for this particular text I typed there, I can just go with generate. It's going to give me the particular word I typed there, the number of tokens, and the number of characters. It's going to give me all the different possible domains, right? So we have DomainGistry.com, DomainGistry.edu, .net, .org, .site, .co, .io, .ai, .app. Then can also have for new domains, right, with new domain extensions like DomainGistry.app, DomainGistry.site, .online, .syc, .tech, .shop, .blog, several of them. And also have some extra domains, right, which is based on a location. So we have domain.Asia, .africa, .us, .me, .base, .info, .name, .mobi, and then several of them, .tv, .li, .it, several of them. And then you can also have some of the domain names based on preface. So in case you want to put a preface there, so these are the suggested preface. We have a domaingenie.com, iDomainGenie.com, then you have my domain genie, me domain genie, we domain genie, top domain genie, several of them. We also have surfaced domains like domaingenieonline.com, domaingenieworld.com, and then several of them. Very, very interesting. These are all SEO based domain names. Very interesting. You can also have a shuffle domain, which is going to shuffle it, right? So geniedomain.com, twisting the word all around. So you can also do something. So let's do something like subscribe me, right? Subscribe me, right? Subscribe me. I don't know whether it's a good English, but let's try it. So you can also check it from here. So generate. We have subscribe me. You can have subscribeme.com, subscribeme.edu, .net, .org, site.co. We also have for apps. We have for the extra domain names. We also have for prefaced domains, shuffle domains, and then surface domain. Very interesting. Me subscribe.com. Me subscribe to this channel. Okay, so let's see. Can also reset everything. It's going to come back to the normal one. It is quite responsive because it's built, of course, bootstrap. So it is very interesting. And let's see how to build this particular web application in this tutorial. So first of all, just going to start building it. So now I'm going to create, I have a folder. I'm going to create a file inside my folder. You know the file is going to be our app.py. That's where the logic of the program is going to be. I'm going to create another file which is going to be for our index. So it's going to be inside our template folder. Then inside our template folder, I'm going to place in my index.html file. It's going to be the front end. So index.html. Very interesting. Okay, so we have we have the app.py is going to be the backend, and index.html is going to be the front end. Now let's start with something simple. So from Flask, import Flask. So in case you don't have Flask, you can just install it with this option. So pip install Flask. That is in case you don't have Flask, right? But because we already have Flask, we just move straight away to it. Let me bring it here. Now let's start building. So from Flask, import Flask. Then what we also need to import is render template, and then also we need URL for, and then request. Perfect. Then I'm going to initialize my app. Let me increase the size a little. So app is going to be Flask. Then this is going to be name. Perfect. We just create our if main. Then it's going to be app.run, and debug is called to true. So after I finish creating the app, you have to take off this, right, in case you want to productionize it. Now let's create our first route. It's going to be app.route. It's going to be our index, then def index, and this is going to be, so return something. We are returning domain history, a domain name generator, right? Very simple app. I can see how I spelled domain. Okay, now let's save it and let's run it. So I'll have to close this one. So let's close this. Perfect, right? So this, so here, perfect. So I'm here. I'm going to, this is what we have here, right? So let's run it to be python.py. So do not use the development server production environment because of this. You have to change this one. So I just copy the URL here, then paste it inside our URL. So perfect. So DomainGistry, a domain name generator, as we have typed it. Perfect. Now we need to be able to create our backend. So how do we create it? So I'm just going to create our backend using Bootstrap. So it's going to be get Bootstrap. So let's create a simple HTML. It's going to be DomainGistry. Perfect. And then let's use the basic example of Bootstrap. So I'll open the main one and then open the examples. So what I'll need at the bottom of the app is this particular jQuery stuff, right? So let me copy this one and then let's paste it at the end of this because we will need it here to allow us to work with our JavaScript stuff. Then we also need for the Bootstrap itself. So I'll copy this one and let's place it at the top inside the head. Perfect. Now we are done with some of them. So let's get an example. So I'll use this particular. I think this is better. Okay. So go to view page source, and then I'll copy from. Just copy the navbar because that's what I need. The whole of the navbar up to this particular option. So that's what I need to paste it inside the body. Perfect. So let's try it and see whether we have it now. So I'm just going to change this one from domain history to the particular stuff. So it's going to be the render the template. Then inside this, I'm going to return this index, right? That HTML. That's what I'm returning. So if you see that it's starting, that detected it. Now let's go back to no more this. We don't need this again. Don't need this. We don't need this. So let's see when it's going to work. Perfect. See that now it's working, right? So we have our navbar working very well. So we have to change all of these things. So let's go back to our navbar. We need to do some changes, right? So I have to take off this. We don't need this. Need nada for Russian, right? That's what they say it in Russian. Need nada. Don't need it. So this is going to be our about. Perfect. And then here we change this one from navbar to DomainGistry. Perfect. So I refresh it. Perfect. So DomainGistry. Perfect. So home search, right? Very interesting. Now we need to create a form to receive whatever thing that you want to type here, right? So let's see how to do that. So we have one here. So let's create a simple div. It's going to be div class container. Right here, we're going to create in a form to do all the various stuff we want to do. So this form, right, is going to take a method of post which are not created and an action of the particular route that we're creating, which is going to be our generate, right? We'll create generate. We're going to create that particular route later. Perfect. So here is going to take a particular input, right? Particular input. So let's go with input type is test. The name is going to be, this is the name that is going to be, whatever I'm going to be typing there will be bound to this particular name. It's going to be our raw test. We'll serial to it, then just give it a class of form control. Perfect. So that is all that we need. And we also need to set required to true so that we don't send unauthorized words, right? Okay, so we are done with that. Now let's go with a button. So this button is we're going to create two different buttons. So we're going to be type reset to clear it. It's going to be our clear button. We also need to create another button for submission. So button is going to be type submit. So let's save it and see what we have done so far. So that now we have it here, right? It is there. So I have to bring some BRL, some line breaks to make it look interesting. So we have our test file here, right? And we have our submit and our clear. So we added some bootstrap stuff to make it look very nice. So I'll put a class btn primary, then let's add mv-2. So if I save it, it's going to look nicer and beautiful. Perfect. So we have submit, we have clear. Very interesting. We add the reset later. Now that is how far we have done. Now let's add a reset to reset everything. So let's not use button now. Let's use anchor tag. And this is going to go with our URL 4. The URL is going to go to our index file, right? Perfect. So that's all we need to do. Then we have to give it as a class of something simple, something like this. So btn btn. So let me reduce it a little. Yeah. Then this is not going to be primary, but let's give it as a color like success, right? So if I save it, then this is going to be, say, reset. Perfect. So let's try it and see. Right, you have to reset, submit, clear. Perfect. Very interesting. So if I type something like hello, let's go with the clear. Perfect. Now it's working. If I go with hello, then reset, right, it's resetting back perfectly. Now we need to create this particular route, and we need to be able to attack whatever you're typing here to our backend, right? So let's go back to our backend. So we are done with some of the most important aspects for the front end. So it's going to be, for our backend, is very simple. So in creating our backend, the most important we need is that we have our first route. So we need another route for our generator. So this is going to be our generate route. So this one is going to go off generate, right? So this generate route is referring to this generate here, right? Generate here. Perfect. So whatever you're going to be typing here will be bound to this particular name, sent via post to this particular route, right? Which is found here. Right, so this is done. We're not going to do anything here, but here is where we're going to be doing all the logic. So let's add some interesting stuff. So since we are using a method, we need to supply that method. So the method you are using here is get, and then we're also using post because we are using just one page. Now we are done. The next thing that we're just going to receive those tests. So it's going to be if our request dot method is equal to post, right? Then I want you to do something. So if that is the case, I want you to receive that particular word. So let's go as o test. That o test is going to be our request dot form because this is a form, right? We are receiving something from this form. Then we're going to pass in our raw test. So this raw test you are passing is coming from this raw test here. Perfect. So we're going to be storing everything in that particular o test code. Then I need to create another raw test. So this raw test is, what am I going to do? Sometimes the word can be two, right? I can type a word like, let's say, JCharis, then another word like tech. So in case the words are two, I'll need to be able to put them together or split them, right? So that is the basic idea of what you're doing here. So it's going to be raw test. Then I'll use the normal Python function of joining it. That is in case it is two words or multiple words there. Then I'm going to use my old test dot lower to lowercase to put them in lowercase dot split. Then I'm going to put them together, right? Perfect. So then we're going to have that raw test there. Simple. The next thing we need is that we need to be able to get the length of the words, right? So let's go as word tokens, and this word token is going to be the length of our old test, right? It's going to be the length of this particular stuff we had here, which we have splitted, right? This entire stuff. So you can either do it like this or without the lower. Any of them is going to work. Perfect. Right, that's going to be the await token. And then to get the character, it's still going to be something simple. Going to be just the length of the raw text that we have above. So we are going to do some interesting stuff. So let's see whether we have this thing. So I'm just going to send everything back there. So it's going to be our raw text. Let's go to raw text. Then we also need our old text. It's going to be old text. Then we need our word characters, right? So let's try and see how to do that. So let me bring this one here so it looks nicer, right? So we need them to get these particular stuff. So let's call that word stars, and this word stars is going to be using a normal Python format Python format here. Then it's going to be this for the first word, then \n to give a new word, then we're going to create another one for our characters. So character, right, dot format. Then it's going to first of all go with our word tokens, then our character length. Perfect. So we have it in a simple, nice way. So we'll be sending this word stars also to our front end. So it's going to be word stars. Let's go to word stars. Okay, so since we are sending them, we have to refer them here. So let's refer them in this particular option. So if we come back to our form, this is our form, this is our div container. We need to create another div container, class container, and here I'm going to supply the particular window. So let's try and put those words there. So let's use a simple listing to do that, right? So class, then it's going to be a list group, then further these ones are going to be the normal list tab. So list class list group item. So the first one is going to be our raw text. Then let me duplicate this one, right? Because it's the same thing. So one is going to be raw text, one is going to be our code text. Then the next one is going to be our word stars. Word stars. So let's put it here as word stars. So let's save it and see. So I'm going to refresh it. Now we see that we have our particular word here, right? Our particular list here. So if I put in a word like JCharisTech, then let's go with submit. So we have see that it's working. JCharisTech, and a word token. It's very interesting. So that everything is working as expected. Okay, perfect. Now this is just the basic word stars. Now let's work on the basic ideology, the main stuff that we want to do. How do we generate the names? So to generate the names, let me expand it. We're using something very simple. So I'm going to import some list of all the domain names, then we use it to generate it, right? Okay, so now let's see how to work with it. So the next thing we are going to do is that we're going to create a list of words that we'll be using to do our generation, right? So I'm going to paste in all the words that I need. So let me post it here. So these are all the list of words that we need, right? You can add, these are just individual lists that which I've created. So we have app, site, online. These are all the domain extensions, right? All the various domain extensions, the common domain extensions, .com, .edu, .net, org, site. These are various things that you can add more to it, right? So that's what we have so far. I'm going to save that one, and then now we're going to be generating those particular. Right. So how do we generate it? So to generate it is very simple, very simple. So we're just going to use a simple format of the normal list, right, without importing random or any other stuff. So it's going to be like this. So I'm just going to create a custom list for our new words, right, and then we're using the simple format of doing it. So it's going to be like this. So let me explain it somewhere so that it becomes easier. It's going to be very simple. Let me explain it with Python so that you can understand it. So let's say I have a word like this, right? Here's a list of words. Now I want to have a new word. So the new word is going to be Google, right? So in case I want to generate different domain names with this particular list that I have, com, org, and net, I can do it like for I in a list. Then it's going to be like print the particular word. So we can use this Python. So you can do something like this. Dot, then dot format. And I'm going to pass in the word for my stuff, which is new, and then the looping through all these words I'm looping through. It's going to be like this, right? And I'm going to close the entire stuff. So now we have google.org, google.com, google.net, right? Very interesting. So it's just a normal list. So all I did is that I collected a list of all the domain extensions, and I'm looping through it to create a simple list with all these things, right? So that is the basic idea about it. Very interesting. So it's quite simple. So all you need is that you need a list of words of all the domain endings, the prefixes, the different words that you want, and just going to loop through it and then give it a particular format. So that's what we're doing. So how do we do that? So I have all our list here. I have all different most important words, .com, .org, prefixes, several of them, right? Then from here, I'm just going to create another list which I'll loop through to do that, as I showed earlier on. So it's going to be the same thing. Remember that this is how we do that, right? So we'll be starting from the back here, right? Then forward. So it's going to be this. Dot fit its format. And in this format, I'm going to pass in my hot text and then the I, right? It's going to be for I in, just like we had here. So for I in a list. So this is going to be the list that will be changing. So these things are going to be the same thing, but this is what will be changing over and over. So for I in new domain, so the new domain is the new domain here, right? You have a new domain, app, site, online, S-Tech, shop. You also have one for common domain. You also have one for extra domain. So we have built a simple list. It's a simple list. So let's print this list out. So print our custom list, right? So I'll save it. Now let's run it and see. We have this particular stuff. So if I put the same thing I had here, so let's go back to reset. Then let's paste in Jesse, right? And then let's see what it gives to us, our print option. So bring it here. So I click on submit. So we're talking, so that now it has given us a list of all the words that we have, right? This is a list: jc.app, jc.site, jc.online, jc.syz, jc.tech, jc.shop. Wow. So that's the basic idea about it too. Using that same ideology to create all the various domains that we want, right? So it is unlimited. It's based on the number of different lists you're able to provide, right? So I'm just going to paste the same stuff here for all of them so that it becomes easier. So we have the same thing. Now paste it, repeat it for the rest. Perfect. So now the next thing we need to do is that now we have it, right? So what do you do in case the word is true? So in case the word is true like this, right, you have to be able to not just generate just the word from it, be able to shuffle the word, right? Like tech and then just. So let's see how to do that. So I'm just going to create a simple function. So I'll paste it and explain, right? It's going to be a shuffleized word. So it's going to accept the word, Then going to split the word into two, right, or into several by space. Then if the length of the word is equal to 2, it's going to take the first part, then the last part. Then it's going to change the format using the normal format for Python. Then if the length of the word is equal to 3, you're going to have it to 3. So first, mid, and then last. Then we're going to rearrange it. So you can add several formats to it, like 4, 5, 6. And if it is any other different, you just join them together. That's the basic idea. So I'm going to pass this particular sharp-light word into our custom list. Right. So now we need to add this particular function that we created here. We need to add this our sharp-light function into our generate test. So how do we do that? So let me paste it at this particular point. So it's going to be like this. So it's going to be our shuffled test. So it's going to be our sharp-light function. And I'm going to pass in our old test dot lower. Perfect, right? So that you have it in lower case. Then I'm going to repeat the same thing that we have here. But instead of using raw test, we'll be using our shuffled test, right? Okay, so we have our shuffled test, simple. So custom list underscore shuffled test for I in common domains. We are using the common domains because that's the most common ones. Perfect. So we have them to do the basic idea about it. Now let's see how to create the front end and send all of these things to our front part. So we have a simple one here. So let's go and add it here. We have our div. Now let's create our box. So it's going to be div class container. So this is going to be our container. So now how do we get our way there? So we are going to be using the normal Python for loop, right, to be able to enable us to do that. It's going to be very simple. So it's going to be the normal stuff for Ginger. So for our I in our custom list common, right, then we're going to pass in our I. Then we're going to do the simple stuff there, which we have as N4, right, and 4. If because it is 4 here, it's going to be N4. This is simple Ginger stuff, right? So this is how we're going to be doing to get all our way. So let's try it and see. So let's try something different. So Google Soft, right? Google and Microsoft. So submit. Perfect. So you see that it has given us googlesoft.com, googlesoft.edu.net. Perfect, right? And that the word that we had here is coming, right? It is working perfectly, right? So now we have to beautify this. So let me make it beautiful because that's the basic idea. So the basic idea that you are trying to receive the word and then you are looping through the list that we have generated at the back end here. That is the basic idea. So I'll paste in our beautification. Perfect. So that if I refresh it, let's go back here. Perfect. Now it is there, right? So this is just the normal stuff there. Pasted it because they are the same tautology stuff. Since you have gotten the idea. So if I paste in the word Google Soft, and I click on submit. Perfect. So you see that now Google Soft tokens character. I have to change the character, googlesoft.com, googlesoft.edu. Then we have the new domains, we have the extra domains, we have the prefaces, the surfaces, the shuffle, right? You see that the shuffle is even working, softgoogle.com. Very interesting, right? So we have been able to do all of these things well. So the basic idea is that you just have to have a list. Let me expand it. Just import Flask, right? The most important stuff. And just get a list of all the various words that you need, right? All the various words, the domain extension that you need, plenty, one of them. Then you're just going to create another function to shuffleize in case the words are 2 or 3 or 4 to change the words, right? That is the basic idea for the shuffleize function. Then just going to create our first route. It's going to save the app, the front page of the app or the front end. Then also going to create another route right, which is going to do our logic calculation. So the basic idea is that you're just taking the word, then when you take the word, you're going to split them together, so, and then join them. So that in case the words are 2 or 3, you split them, then join them together, right? So that in case the word is 1, you still get one particular word together. Then we're going to find the length of the words, then the characters of the words. Then you're also going to correct some character. Then you're also going to shuffleize the word. Then we're going to create a simple list comprehension. It's going to be for I in that particular new domain, that is the list of all the domains that we have. Create this particular string format, right? With the first word, the word that the person typed inside, and that particular word from the new domain, common domain, extra domain, or previous domain. And you're going to send all of these things to the front end. So that's the basic idea about this particular app. Very simple, very easy, right? So let's go back. So reset. Now let's see how to add the same functions to the search here. So that when you search something, it will work. So it's very simple. All we need is just to put in our same post here, this particular option. Copy the same thing and place it inside our search here. Right, place it inside our form here. Perfect. Then the next thing I need is I need to get the raw test, right? So it's going to be our name, to be raw test. Then I need to get the required to true, right? Perfect. So now the search is working very well. So if I reset it, I go to the search, the same stuff. You can just change the name to something. So thank you for watching, right? So let's go with search. So thank you character. Then we have thankyou.com, thankyou.net, thankyou.net, thankyou.org. That's the basic idea about how to create a domain name generation web application. So thank you for watching. In case you need help in trying to create a web application, you can also check the links below. And please don't forget to subscribe and share. Stay blessed.